الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hello everyone. The main purpose in this new playlist is to explain with English. We use in our channel two language. Arabic is our perfect language and English is the language of science. So try to give some course in English. The main objective and purpose is to how to create a simple web form in React, similar to HTML5. We can create a web form like a component. So like this, we can introduce the email, and when we click in login we display the introduced value by the user on this text box. So right click, inspect console, and try to click login, test nunogmail.com like a result. How to create a simple web form, name and display name in React.js. So go to Visual Studio and create first of all a component. Right click new file, display. We can display name. We can give it the name display name dot js, and we create our component. Already we must import React from the class React from the file React exists in node models, and our components, we create our components with function. Recall that there are two ways to create components. You can use class or you can use function, but all people know create components with class, and if you like to handle the value you can use a hook. So function, the name is exactly the name of our file, so display name, curve braces, and all the function must return a tag. So return between, voila, semicolon, a empty tag, and inside this tag we create a form, a web form. So form with two tag. The first is label, and the second is input text. So we can use inputs, uh, inputs. Voila. We can use for the name of our inputs. So we can give name, ou bien first name, first name, first name, and input type, type text, simple text with ID. First name, we give the ID because we maybe need to give some style to our input. Say Ctrl V. Second is name. We give this name, first name, and we add some new features. So the value, to handle the value, we need to add some hook. So we can use value equal, and we give some hook to handle the value. React to use the hook, we must import use state hook. Voila. And in this place we can create our hook const list contain the initial value 1 ou bien name. We can give first name, initial value, and a function to modify this first name. First name, and we give the initial value use state, and we give a empty string. Alhamdulillah, the value of our text box is fr name, so we copy this, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, alhamdulillah, and we need to add some id name value, for example placeholder top, voila, your name, and we add some button, so button, alhamdulillah, tip button, voila, give the name display, write a display name in the console, for example, alhamdulillah. Input label and a simple form. Now we can add a function, for example on submit, and we give some function display, and we define this function const display equal a row function with parameter equal greater than and curly braces, and we write the code to display the first name, so we can add console.log, and we display the name, first name equal plus the value fr name, first name, alhamdulillah. Display, we try to render display name in our index.js, but we must add the following code: export default, the name of our components. The name of our components is display name. Ctrl C and Ctrl V, and go to index.js and try to call our component display name, alhamdulillah. Import display name for display name, and we convert this component to a simple tag to display in root div. So go to the browsers and try to verify we close our console and like first name display name in the console. We try to write some word. Look that the browsers not allow us to write because we need a specific function. The difference between classical input and input in React that you must add some features. Look that's this value and you must add on change on change, and we can write a arrow function to change the value. So use like a parameter and equal greater than curly braces, and you must call the function set fr name. This function change the value. Control C and go to Control V and pass this parameter dot target dot target dot target dot value. Voila. It is important to add on change and call arrow function with this parameter and call the set fr name to modify the initial value of r name, because the initial value is empty string. Try to verify that in the browsers and tap our name. Look that we have a problem on change. Voila. Actualize. Look at this stupid error value. We must write curly braces and copy the name of our hook. Sorry. Voila. Try to go to our browsers to verify and try to introduce some value. Alhamdulillah, now Nordin value, Nordin Bahi. Go to inspect, go to our body, go to div, go to form. Look that the first value is Nordin Bahi, very good. But when we display, this is not error, just warning. When we display name in console, we click in this button, anything. We must add some properties or some features to our code. On Submit, we can go to display, and display is a arrow function that log console.log, and we can use dot prevent default to allow the browsers to conserve the value after a reload, so we can prevent defaults. And we must change button to submit because we use this function on submit. So we can go to our code and actualize and write up Nordin, for example, and we display name. Look the result, first name is Nordin. If we don't write this instruction, this code prevent the fault. We don't conserve the value in our text box, so display any value. We lose all introduced value. Display name in console, look that there is a reload to prevent the browsers to conserve the value. After a click we must add this code prevents default. If we try now, we conserve our value bay. Display name in console, look first name equal bay. Thank you very much, and see you again in other video to explain more example of a web form in React. Special thank you very much for your assist.